The Pentagon says it mistakenly shipped live anthrax across the country and to South Korea. Spores of the deadly bacteria were irradiated at a proving ground in Utah and declared dead. The anthrax was then divided into separate batches and sent to laboratories in 9 states and to a military base in South Korea. David Martin is at the Pentagon. He joins us with more details on this. David, what happened and what do we know?
Well, I don't think anybody knows why the irradiation of the anthrax failed to kill all the anthrax spores before these samples were shipped out, but that appears to be the case. These samples were shipped out over a period of several months, beginning early last year. And so they have been out in circulation for some time, but it was only on this past Friday that a private lab in Maryland, which had been working with one of these samples, reported to the Centers for Disease Control that the sample it was working with still had live spores. So the CDC immediately recalled all of those samples to determine if any of the others also contained live spores. And in the meantime, the Pentagon has stopped all further shipments of anthrax, whether or not it's been irradiated. So now the question is, what was the public health risk in all this? The Pentagon says there have been no suspected cases of anthrax infection among the workers who actually handled these samples. However, the CDC has recommended that 4 workers in particular who handled this material receive post-exposure treatment, a kind of prophylactic treatment for anthrax just in case. So we are still waiting the results of that treatment to know whether the Pentagon statement that there is no public risk associated with these shipments, whether or not that's in fact the case.
And David, we're also still waiting on the results from the other batches. The Maryland one tested live. We don't know about all the other ones.
That's right. The CDC is in the process of collecting all of those samples and testing them to see whether or not there were live spores. But those samples have not all been collected yet, have not all been tested yet.
And the South Korean issue, that is separate from the 9 batches that were shipped within the U.S.
Well, it's the 10th batch. It went to a lab that is on a U.S. military base in South Korea. The purpose of having these samples of anthrax, both the live anthrax at Dugway and the samples that were shipped to these other labs, is to develop defenses against anthrax in case some other country uses it as a biological weapon. So given the threat from North Korea, you can understand why a shipment would be sent to a U.S. military base in South Korea.
Copy that. David Martin at the Pentagon. David, thank you very much.
Sure thing.